What we have recently seen is amongst the young women which are actually college going or in the marriageable age, what we have found is the adaptability factor of these women have dropped considerably. Reason being, when we go across the grooming inside a family, the way they are brought up, the way their desires and other things are fulfilled, and then the kind of understanding they have about the relationship is gradually deteriorating. And what exactly is happening is they have uh, become less and less acceptable and adaptable to the situations, family relationships, and personal relationships where they want whatever they have desired for should be fulfilled. The moment it is not fulfilled, they become a kind of rebellion, and these rebellion actually results in the breakage of relationship. The laws being completely tilted towards them, heavily loaded against men, gives ample opportunity for these women to part away in a relationship, passing on the entire blame on men.
But they can say the same about men, that men's desires are also fulfilled. How is it different?
What happens is when it comes to a family scenario, a family scenario has been programmed in Indian society in a certain way. The program is such that uh, when it comes to marriage, it's not just marriage between an individual, it's the marriage between the two people with a similar thought process. Then they join together, and then along with them the family also comes in sync. So in Indian society, it's not just the person who is getting married, but the families are also getting married. Now, the kind of way the things were previously, where it used to be joint family, where women used to live in those joint family, they also fulfilled their responsibilities. But nowadays, you see the families deteriorating, family values deteriorating, it become nuclear. And then what happens is these women come to this kind of family situation, they find it quite difficult to adapt to those family environments where right from the parental home where they have got all kind of freedom, and then suddenly they come to another family where they have a lot of responsibilities as well.
Are you saying women are pampered? They're being pampered?
Definitely they're pampered. I'm not saying anything wrong with being pampered, but then the adaptability has to be such that when they enter into a relationship, they should be mentally and physically prepared to meet the challenges of new family in which they are going in. Because one family where they know each and everyone, and then another family where they are entering into, they have to understand, recognize, accept, and accommodate themselves as well. It is equally important for the other family as well, because they also have to go through the same phase. They also are welcoming a new member in their family. But what actually makes the situation critical here is the way things are there, the acceptability, the grooming is such that the acceptability becomes very less when it comes to a critical situation or a difficult situation arises, and then the rebellion attitude which is there, that evolves and take over.
Can you give some examples of what happens when women don't adapt? What happens to the families? Can you give some?
See, what happens is whenever there are most of the victims which come to us have a complaint that they have old age parents. See, they have brought these children up with lot of loads of pain, and what happens is when a new person or a family member comes in, the basic expectation is the new person coming in will take equally good care of the family members as the son or the other person was taking care of. Now, with this person coming in, the woman coming in the family, she finds it very difficult, because then she doesn't had an old age parents or grandparents in her family. Now she finds it difficult that she would be willing to take care of husband, but not take care of old age parents.
No, she must also be having old people in her.
Definitely she must be having, but the blood relationship which is there, it actually pulls a person to do certain responsibilities.
So you're saying they go towards nuclear, they want a nuclear family instead of a joint family.
Absolutely, and that is causing the breakage of families right now. Most of the people coming in are being pressurized by their better halves to part away from their parents. No, it becomes very
critical. Is this
critical.
An urban phenomena, or does it happen in villages, towns?
It is down the line happening across the region, across the zones where the family is getting broken.
Women often complain about patriarchy. What's your take on that?
See, patriarchy is the biggest misunderstood subject in Indian as well as global context. Now, what do we understand by patriarchy? Patriarchy is something which is a family controlled by a man. Now, do we have a rightful understanding of what control is? Do we mean to equate control with oppression? That's a difficult thing to get into, because in a family, a father is controlling a family for its betterment and taking the responsibility on account of safeguarding the interest of their children.
No, but they complain. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but they complain that what you're calling responsibility,
Right.
They call it oppression. How do you debate this?
See, if we call responsibilities or love or care as oppression...
Do you think women are
becomes-
capable of taking responsibilities?
Absolutely, why not? When women are taking responsibilities, men are definitely giving them space. But when it comes to them, while taking the responsibilities, when I'm talking of family values, when I'm talking of adhering to the family relationship, the problem starts where woman is ignoring the parents, old age parents of the husband.
So do women do that?
Sisters and brothers of the man.
Okay.
So is it not shying away from that responsibility?
Do men do the same thing? Does it apply only to women?
See, men are quite natural in these terms when it comes to getting into a relationship. They have been taking care of their parents, they have been taking care of their family, they have been brought up, groomed in such a way that they throughout their life take the role of the protector and provider.
This is a gender difference then?
Absolutely. Women cry themselves to be a victim because of patriarchal society, whereas it's just the vice versa, and I find it quite contradicting, because at one point we say men are at point of strength and they are oppressing women, and at the same point of strength men are committing suicide twice because of their oppression what they are facing. So looks quite contradicting. And another point that I want to make here is, when we talk of family system, family values, we ignore that 56% of the total harassment with elderly parents and face the abuse is because of their daughter-in-laws. So this is a study established by HelpAge India, and quite vividly they have explained it, that the daughter-in-laws have been exploiting their situation where they are harassing their old parents, what I have already spoken about. This is one situation. There could be many such cases. Apart from taking care of parents, there could be dispute, conflict between the spouses itself, which is a regular wear and tear of the family which happens. But then the intolerance and the inadaptability of the situation, again the ego is so high that women don't tend to leave their point, what they are making, and eventually this triggers a conflict so big that it eventually ends into courtroom.
Is it because they're brought up in a certain manner?
Absolutely, because they have been brought up in such a manner that all their wish, all their desires are being fulfilled, and they're groomed
So
in
what
such a way.
happened earlier?
And
so when
earlier, when they used to live in a joint family, they had actually got that environment where they were learning a lot of things regarding family values, regarding the characteristics they have to display when they live in a family, close
what are
family.
those values which are missing today?
The values are when you are adapted to work in the family, when you have to face the challenges of a bigger family, then you tend to understand and be accommodative of the needs and requirement of other family members as well. But now what happens is the family being
In effect, you're saying
becoming
women are
nuclear.
selfish. Women are selfish.
That I'm not exactly expressing explicitly.
Are they selfish?
No, I am not getting into what in person, because selfishness
If they are more interested in fulfilling their own desires and not taking care of the...
It could be characteristic of an individual per se, but the studies that are coming out reveal that most of these women are displaying such characteristics.
What study is this which is saying that most women...
The study that I right now
HelpAge
discuss
India is one.
about the HelpAge India, which is the ACE organization which works for elderly parents, has displayed this, that their study
Are these
reveals...
institutions run by men? Are they run by women?
These are run by neutral organizations. These are neither run by a men's right organization, these are neither run by a women's right organization. These are organizations which are running across the country.
And they pinpoint that women are responsible?
Absolutely. They have pinpointed that 56% of the cases, daughter-in-laws are responsible, 27% of the cases, daughter are responsible. You could find varied category of characteristic which people may display, but we have to get into the place where what predominantly most of the people are displaying what kind of characteristic. Now, what clearly makes out is 56% and 27% makes close to more than 85% around. Now, if you talk of 80+%, women are displaying a characteristic of displaying aggression, displaying anger, displaying anguish when it comes to a family relationship which they have to nourish, they have to nurture and they have to develop. This explicitly explains that they are not adapting to the family environment which they are supposed to, which is actually leading to a breakage of family system as of now in the country. And when we come to men, definitely there would be some women, there would be some men. But as the study reveals, majority of women are doing this when it comes to family.
Thank you so much, Amit. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.